everyone, and welcome back to GG Leagues. We have an exciting match from Division B for you today. We're up against the Replay Stallions Academy, who is 3-3 in their roster right now, up against the Northwestern Bearcats League Team Green, who is 4-1. My name is Cosmic. I'm looking a little bit different than I normally do. I'm not an egg for once. You can see my glorious face as I was having egg software issues, so they're not around. But joining me, as always, is the wonderful Soph. How are you doing today, Soph?
I'm doing lovely, and it's so nice to finally meet you in person. If that could be called in person enough. But yeah, nice to see you out of the shell.
Yeah, it's great to be no longer in egg form, and once again in my own humble abode, bringing everyone here some wonderful League of Legends action. So we will see that in just a moment here as we're about to dive into Pro. We have a new patch coming up here. We have yet to hit live on that yet, but we do have another patch coming up here soon. I'm very interested to see how those dynamics will go through. Because currently, I know ADC-wise, we have Jinx still on the top of the meta right now. We have a lot of strong carries definitely there. Assassin's still roam mid with Ahri actually taking top of the tier list right now in the mid lane. So maybe we'll see some mid assassin action. What are you interested in seeing here today, Soph?
To be fair, I would be disappointed if I didn't see Zeri or Jinx or Aphelios because they're just too dominant. They're just too dominant right now. So if they're not banned, I want them picked, and I want them picked well. I want them in a good comp. I want them played well. And to be fair, I really like seeing more Ahri in competitive gameplay. Since a little rework there on her ulti, I think she's much more solid now, and it's very nice to see. It's like a champion that has been in a game for such a long time. He's seen so much action in the Rift, and yeah. Aside from that, I don't see anything in particular. But we do see, as I said, the Zeri ban along with Vladimir and Vi on this first round, closing up with Aphelios. So as I said, picked or banned, these are going to be present in the game. And what are your expectations?
I'm not quite sure. I feel like we're going to see a lot of balance. We are in B League right now. We don't really see a ton of crazy picks coming out from B side, but we could definitely see it happen here. I mean, we have Vlad, Vi, and Olaf bans. We're all still strong in their own right. None are exactly high tier on the meta, so I think those are a lot of targeted bans onto the Bearcats. Echo rounding out the bans here, possibly. Yep, from Bearcats. So two really strong ADCs have been taken out of the mix, as well as Echo, who again feels a bit more targeted. While he's strong nonetheless, it's a bit rough not to see him, but it's not rough to see Jinx. She's absolutely been destroying it right now in the league. And Jhin is following close behind. Well, Jhin, of course, has not been, the best character right now, especially best ADC in the game right now. He's definitely holding his own tier on his own, doing a lot of solid crit damage, especially as lethality's had this huge, massive boost. Instead, we're going to see Volibear instead. Confident pick from the Bearcats. Not, again, super meta, but it looks like Jhin might be hovered for Sherry as they're planning out what they want to do next. I am excited to see this Jinx, though. I'm very excited to see what we could pull off with that one there. And it looks like they will take up the Jhin to bring up against the Jinx. So we'll have an interesting bot lane to say nonetheless. I feel like we have that happen quite often here. Bot lane seems to be a lot of the source of the action coming around here as Diana's getting it picked out. Possibly for jungle or mid lane. Jungle it is. They're immediately pulling their cards. They're pulling out an Akshan, hovering that one for possibly in the mid lane. Bit interesting to see Diana there. She's still strong nonetheless. Assassins in the jungle have been extremely powerful, but we have seen a lot more tanks kind of in the meta trying to round that out front line. And Kennen, meanwhile, is going to be going into the top side. Kennen has had a surge in popularity lately. He's been absolutely dominant on the Rift, and it's very impressive to see him there as we have more bans coming out as we keep talking.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, as we know we're talking about Division B here, so we know we're about to see interesting things, a little different off meta, as you said. We got the Jhin. Volibear is really strong right now. We could have seen that on top lane, but with a Kennen, that most likely is going to be jungle. Diana, also as you said, a great assassin. definitely, most likely gonna be jungle as well. Action mid. I just have to say that what was Bearcats aiming for with leaving? I mean, they banned Zeri and Aphelios, but then decided to ban Echo. Like they literally
Yeah,
just gave Jinx to replace Stallions Academy, and
yeah,
that
no.
is. I mean, unless this Jin, this ADC for Backcast is like hella confident against playing against Jinx, then well, I hope to see. I hope to see they are. I hope to see that they are, and
Yeah,
I
I mean, like looking at these final picks here, I mean, Braum Jinx is already pretty strong there. Jin Leona is another strong bot lane, so it looks like we have bot lane action. Teemo hover top.
this
It's a shrug Cho'Gath against Malphite, quite possibly. I think it'll be very, yeah, we're going to see just double tanks in the top lane nonetheless. I think these are both good comps overall. They're both just solid for when they stand, regardless of, regardless of current meta and where that's standing. They're both really, they're just both really solid comps with a very strong front line, a very heavy damage dealing bot lane here. Uh, I don't know. I'm very interested to see what they pull out here. It does look like Kennen will instead switch in the mid lane versus Akshan, so that might lead to some interesting dichotomy there between those two. But overall, Soph, what are your thoughts on this? Because I don't really see either team really breaking here.
Yeah, I think that here from the draft, as I mentioned, we are casting some Division B. So around this elo, I don't really think it's that important to just focus on meta. Like, of
Hmm.
course, we're gonna have to. We're most likely gonna see very high rate picked champions. But if we don't, it's all good. Like you said, we have such a bulky like defensive bot lane for these two ADCs with Braum and Leona as their support, and the rest of the team just uh, nice two options in the jungle with Diana and Volibear, that tanky top lane with Malphite in on, and I would have to agree that possibly the most interesting fun is going to be happening on middle lane. Maybe
Hmm.
that's going to be also the target from both these junglers. But I am excited to see what we're gonna be seeing in this first game of week 7 GG Leagues.
Yeah, no, I am very excited too as well, especially as we do have finals come out here very shortly to see what these teams lie into that one. But as much as I'm interested in the spotlight, we have two really high tier ADCs. I think really strong supports to back them up as well. You don't see Braum too much in the meta. It's a shame. I think he's a fantastic support pick nonetheless.
Agreed.
Uh, and so I think he stands well with Jinx. It will definitely hold back, be able to stop Jin damage. Will be able to hold back Kennen as well when that comes around, and we'll be able to fully stop Orin. Like when that ulti decides to come through, it'll just hold back so much from there. Uh, but mid lane is something I'm very interested in. I'm very interested to see that Akshan versus Kennen type deal again. Kennen, like I've said in the meta, has been good, but otherwise is a solid top laner altogether. Hasn't really seen much time in the limelight, but has very good ulti potential for team fights overall. Has a pretty strong dueling sense. A lot of poking back and forth is where Kennen stands best. When they can burst an all for one, they can definitely go for it, but most of the time it's a lot of poking down, and once they get to at least probably think half health or so, they'll just drop the full weight of everything on there and try to stack up from there. Meanwhile, Akshan can definitely poke from afar. He has a lot stronger chase potential than Kennen does when it comes down to it, especially when it comes to that a lot of roaming game later. Akshan's basically built for roaming out of mid lane to just go other places and pick up everything else. As we are about to dive in here, we are just looking across the board. Looks like Cleanse taken both on Chestaman and Flawless Prodigy over on the side of the replay Stallions. Not too surprising to say the least. There's a lot of CC coming out from Northwest here, but I don't see any very exciting, surprising wins besides besides some frost down there in the bot lane for Leona. trying to look to slow up some of the members here. But I think this is going to be very fair as far as everything goes. It's going to come down to a lot of strategy and how these two teams plan on handling this, honestly.
Yeah, agreed. Because even though we can see that both teams have a very nice comp with tankiness, also damage and range, and also engage, I feel RSA's goal in this game, in my opinion, would be to try and not be hard engaged. So they have the means to try and escape. So they have the Ram shield, they have action with a little bit of mobility. They have to play well around that so that they can see their enemies wasting their cooldowns, wasting their ultis, so they can actually go in and engage. Because if they go in on a full-on team fight against Northwest, even in early game, like if a big skirmish were to happen with TPs going in, they have so much CC and so much health to sustain any sort of trade, even in early game. So we have probably Polar Bear trying to steal here the jungle from Diana.
Yeah, trying to dash on the Q is not going to go far enough. The Fishery Man is around the corner. Smite will take it. That one for Diana had to burn that early, which leaves Scuttle open here for the jungle. The rotation happened down there. Meanwhile, bot lane, a lot of pressure up to the tower here coming out from this Jinx and Braum duo. A bit unsurprising there, Jinx again. Still oppressive nonetheless, and Braum can definitely force back a lot of the power here that the Northwest bot lane has. Though, again, it's more or less of how these members plan on playing it there as well. Eyes around mid lane is 2. Not too much exciting action happened there as members are starting to rotate up to go ahead and confirm that Scuttle here. You might see a bit of a clash happening through. Q is going to land itself. Meanwhile, here, Opponent is going to be caught in the sidelines there, and that's a quick old first blood over to Diana. Just no backup for Saxophone Guy dialed in a little too head first and should have left his greed on the doorstep.
Yeah, that was a little too greedy, as you said, and follow-up from RSA's bot lane was exactly what they needed to control the map, control their vision with a Scuttle Crab, get the first blood, and most likely secure a better wave management here on bottom lane, so they can try and control the map for this Drake spawning in 15 seconds.
Yeah, and I mean, looks like we will unfortunately not be able to see what Drake is going to be popping up here just yet. We are having graphical issues here and there, but you know, I feel like there's might be a little bit of soft pressure.
Mountain Drake, thank you very much.
Thank you to Vermilion for that one. But yeah, no, I feel like there will be at least a little bit of pressure there. We do have some powerful mid lane and bot lane champs. Again, there's never really going to be much focused top lane and laning phase. That's just kind of how we are this season and how it has been for the past, honestly, like 2 seasons here. I think it's just been top lanes, but its own little oasis up in the top corner that you're never going to really see from or hear from for a while. Yeah. So they'll definitely be looking for TPs there, but yeah, backing out of pressure here. Looks like getting some early pickups there for Jinx, feeling pretty confident, though it does look like a freeze the wave might happen, though. We'll slow push for Northwest Bears. It's a pretty stable match overall. Normally we see a bit of craziness in action. Besides that kill on Saxophone Guy earlier, junglers have been kind of leaving themselves there on the bases. Speaking of Saxophone Guy, we are seeing him try to steal away some farm here. Drops the control wars, the max range hook is around the corner, more than ready and waiting for Mr. Bear. Might look to fire some combat. Nope, it's just taking a safe way out. Get a pop-up blast plant there. Nick the Trick is kind of left unaware here on the top side. Don't think anything's gonna happen. I think yeah, he's gonna back out. There's no real reason to try to fight this one up there.
I mean, yeah, we didn't even see any things from the side of
Never mind.
RSA.
He's going for it up there right now.
Maybe the communication was a little lacking there, because Diana knew the Saxophone Guy was there. Maybe they took a little for granted and decided maybe they would have just faced.
Yeah, I mean, the wave was pretty much set dead in the middle there. There wasn't really much pushing coming on there, and Fishwoodman is probably going to lose quite a bit of farm actually off of these minions if they are able to make it straight to the tower. As they are just kind of slow pushing out. He might be able to catch it here before tower range is in there. But, you know, had to burn ulti for Nick the Trick as well. It's pretty solid. Neither jungler nor top laner were level 6 at that point, except Nick was able to keep up and farm and stay with a higher pressure. Meanwhile, bit of back and forth as Lesmodian is going to take a little bit of damage there, trying to fight off these ward placements as Boo is feeling quite angry and aggressive today. It looks like we have some slow setup for the Drake, though I don't think we'll see any crazy fights happen for it. I think one team will just take it under another's nose. I hope we don't see too much blood for it because it's only first Drake. I don't think Replay Stallions has to really fight for it. And even if they don't get it, even if Northwest gets it, I don't think that will shift that gold favor too much into the hands of Northwest.
Yeah, so as I was gonna point out, I felt RSA seemed like they were going for a push on bottom lane to assert the vision and control around the Drake area. And I presume they have cleaned the pink ward, the Northwest header. They have just the easiest time securing that Drake. And the fact that let us have a look at the we can see the Chesterman's he's got a little bit of an advantage on the farm, but that last wave was just enough to guarantee better spots and maybe another kill here with a ball again.
Oh,
what a super mega death rocket!
The slow moving rocket that will take it all. I mean, Flash in a straight line, you're gonna get found out by Jinx nonetheless. I mean, it was a nice slow push there. Boo definitely helped out in that dragon taking as well. Just kind of dropped the wall and left Jen to just fire bullets randomly. And even then, they were falling here from Northwest got caught out in the end there by Replay Stallions. Falling was just slowly chunked away, and I mean, Jinx is just so solid. Like, she has that speed boost pressure already coming out from her passive alone, but just damage early on, especially with only a Noon Quiver to her name right now, along with Thorin's Blade. There's not a ton of extra damage, but she's just so strong early game right now, and that's really what ADCs like to have. They like that fighting potential earlier on before laning phase is over. They don't need a ton of items. You don't need like a Kai'Sa 2-item power spike or anything like that. Jinx has that power there. With that, it looks like Drake will be gone. Cloud Drake will be our next one up, so no Cloud Soul either. But we have the two interesting souls, in my opinion, left alive. We have an Ocean Soul, which will help everyone, and a Infernal Drake Soul, who will help everyone, along with Hextech as well, which I never see Hextech Soul really played. It's, for anyone who remembered League back in the day, it's Static Shiv. Hextech Drake Soul gives you Static Shiv overall, but I mean, as we're kind of swapping across the map here, no vision anywhere across the entire map for either team, minus that one tiny ward sitting up there that sees Saxophone Guy coming up. I mean, with no strong objectives on the board, we're winning a while until we do have Shelly coming up there as well. There's no really need for any pressure, and I mean, this bot lane has been constantly getting that scuttle crap there. Meanwhile,
what?
Ulti was missed there in the end. Fisher looks like got a little too close and got punished for it heavily. Was able to back out of that fight there, but that's a missed Malphite ulti on the board. And Saxophone Guy has been trying to help Fishwoodman up there. Topside gets something going on, but nothing. We've got nothing so far. Meanwhile, bot side, big chunk of damage as Lesmodian there just from a couple shots from Jinx. I don't know. This is really starting to look to be Replay Stallions' way. They definitely have the early game under control, despite not a massive lead. You might see a bit of a dive here as members are pretending to back. Ooh, Chompers will miss just a little too much there, and they'll get a little poke of damage on Kim's in the end, just to round it out.
Yeah, we have a fairly large CS advantage for the Jinx. I think it came down to that moment of when they really well coordinated that push to guarantee the Drake. And since then, as you said, Jinx just already has that good like attack speed and damage early game, but now she already has the Gale Force, and she's just gonna be so oppressive on that lane, and that's what she's been doing. But we do see Nibs forcing down and crashing this wave on bot lane. We don't have much, as you said, on the map, any objectives to worry about. Everybody's just farming a little bit, going back, resetting, coming back, and we have less than a minute for the next streak to the Cloud Drake. But we do have an engage, possibly gonna result in a flash from Jin.
Yeah, Flash can get out there. Yeah, double ultis dropped as well as Modian's gonna get stunned up, and Rax Range Hook is here to clean up the job and pick up that kill. Bit of a steal, didn't need your help, but wanted to feel participating in the end. It was a bit of a lack of foresight there. Nibs was able to find around. Meanwhile, topside, ulti's gonna get dropped by Nick Trick. Go ahead and trick their way out of that conflict there. Overall, Replay Stallions have just been capitalizing, especially in this bot lane, for these kills so far. They've been finding so many good opportunities, and Nibs was just, you know, alone, chilling, waiting, and had to burn not only Flash, but their supports ulti to try to get out of a conflict that they shouldn't have been in the first place. Meanwhile, topside, Rifty is going to get dropped on top. Here comes double ultis across the board, trying to take one man down. They'll get the first tower on the board here. Ulti's gonna go wide. It was a good attempt for a rocket coming. But with that turret down, they're going to go for second Drake to at least get a little bit of head start on the Soul. Looks like we will have Ocean Soul on the board as well.
Yeah, and as you said, it's a very, very powerful throw, guaranteeing that sustain mana and health on a late game. And nobody is here to defend the second hit from the Herald? Shelly, is this your time to shine?
Oh, lordy. I mean, Shelly's not going to survive this, but, you know, gets the second charge nonetheless. Not a single top, no one. Not even the jungler was going to support that one.
Nobody. That's really sad, but maybe they just thought it wasn't dangerous enough to even bother. As we do see some pings, and they're just gonna decide to defend this middle turret, as Akshan has switched to bottom lane.
I want you to realize with these gold differences, well, you know, there's that pretty major one as we're seeing right now on the screen from, you know, the top side difference there is definitely in the favor of the Ornn, not solely from farm, as the farm is pretty close to even, maybe about 9 down, but it was very close there. When it came to jungle ADC, Replay Stallions have it in the bag right now. They have, while it looks like a 1k gold lead, it's split pretty well in between multiple members. Maxerchuk's trying to help the top lane. He had to recover after that solid push. With that charge, they're going to be looking for it. Maxerchuk's going to land that solid damage. Ulti's going to go down as well. Fishfood Man does not have a chance to survive that one. Maxerchuk's going to pick up another kill. Meanwhile, mid lane, Ulti's going to get dropped, but it's going to go wide. No finding of Nibs, but you're going to force Lasmodian away there as well. They know where he is. Meanwhile, bot side, some looks from Saxophone Guy is not. Might be looking in the background for Flawless Prodigy, as both mid laners have popped around there. I don't know if we're going to see any action. He sees them coming around. Flawless Prodigy's going to jump back. No action there. No full map coverage, but oh boy. I mean, Replay Stallions have a steady snowball going, and I think this might just keep continuing unless some major team fight decides to change that one around.
Yeah, and it's looking pretty rough for Northwest, as we do have a 4 against 1 kill on the board. It was just too much well played coordination from Replay Stallions, and maybe a little bit of greed and inattention on top lane, getting that Ornn kill. And again, another good rotation from them. And Kennen goes down.
It's so disappointing to see so. I mean, it's just, they keep leaving open these picks, and I mean, Replay Stallions have just been capitalizing on every single time they can. And It's disappointing to see because now another kill's going over to that chunk right there. Meanwhile, 3 members versus 4. We have another Nibs on the backside, dropping that ulti. Here comes a major fight there. A lot of damage. Nick the Chick gonna do a ton of damage there. Take down one. Saxophone Man's gonna pick up another one as well, as members are slowly feeling a bit too beefy here for the side of Replay Stallions. Starting to run away. Good catch off there from Fish Food Man, trying to catch off Max Chuck. Was a lot of damage, trying to go for the behind there, and it's gonna have some fancy footwork for that kill. Meanwhile, Saxophone Guy is waiting around the corner, chasing down Nick the Trick, to pick up that one as well. Even trade, I think, in the extended fight, I think it went 3 for 3 overall, but respawns have already happened there from some of the earlier members of the fight. Rift, yeah, still ready and waiting here, and without much defense left, it does look like the rest of the Northwest team is going to go ahead and try to take that one.
Yeah, and they're not even going to bother. Yeah, they're not even bothering to try and steal that or contest it. You can have the Herald, that's fine. Teams, Replay Stallions are focusing more on the Dragon and the buff. So securing the soul seems to be their priority. And it's interesting to see how that fight turned around for Northwest advantage. It was very interesting to see how that turned into a 3v2, and Replay Stallions just lost that fight. But as we mentioned in the beginning in the draft, I mean, Northwest has a very beefy tanky comp. So at this point, they didn't have enough damage to keep up with it, or maybe flawless foraging. Okay, still safe.
Yeah, we have a fight over Drake. First one for the Soul. Flawless Prodigy waiting in the background right now, trying not to get found out by some of the members. Here to Pwn. Go ahead and find out that one there. All team members are currently waiting around this buff here. Fisherman, no ulti, trying to go for a dive there. It's going to take a bit of chunk of damage there. Ulti coming out there from Nick the Trick. A lot of damage comboing into itself as well. Getting ulti dropping around the corner there. Fisherman's able to get the charge off. We'll get a few too there. 2 double kills there. Right over to the corner. Multiple members down. Ulti's going to go wide for Flawless Prodigy. He's currently getting choked out there by Ocean Drake. Something you don't really want to be going on right there. Nibs is going to go ahead and chase down Chess the Man, and is going to be forcing off these other 2 members, as unfortunately Ocean Drake was started in the middle of that and just chunked out the rest of the backline there. So that's a win for Northwest, as they're going to pick up their first Drake of the match.
That was such a messy fight. They were so close. Replay Stallions were so close to finishing them off in the first 2 seconds of the fight. And then they were all alive with 10 HP, or 100 HP or so. And Jin was just in the backline, Nibs just firing those ultis. Not even Jinx, that was alive throughout the whole fight, was able to deal enough damage on that tanky on the Leona, the Volibear. It's quite a comeback. It's quite a comeback. I wasn't expecting that, but it's very nice to see it. And we have to see Replay Stallions knowing that they aren't that strong anymore, acknowledging they haven't scaled enough to explode Northwest as quick as they would want to. So try and pace this a little down a little bit and grow more before they try to engage in big team fight.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw it there last time. They have a lot of damage. I mean, solely from Nick the Trick and Match Ranked Hook, their combo just chunked a huge chunk of the members of the team, but they weren't able to focus down Fish Food Man, who they know for certain has that entirely powerful ulti. And here to Pwn wasn't really caught up in that fight, was forced back there as well, had to be starting to walk around there, wasn't able to drop the ulti there whatsoever. And so, you know, even with 2 ultis, they were able to fully stop the combo there from the RSA, and just kind of slow down this team fight overall. Rift is going to drop mid lane here, and there's going to be a lot of pressure about taking that mid lane tower. But it was rough to see from Replay Stallions, who worked so hard and had a good chunk of damage there, weren't able to find overall. But Northwest has the solid combo, has the solid CC combo coming out there. They have a really strong, beefy front line. And with nothing really opposing them so far, they might just slowly turn that snowball around, start steamrolling this game as well. Meanwhile, dives happening over there overall. Orin ulti is going to get dropped. It's not going to hit anyone overall as ultis will get thrown in the backline. Multiple members from RSA are currently pretty beefy. Saxon will to drop an ulti in the backline there. Going to get chewed out by Flawless Prodigy. Meanwhile, Fish Food Man is going to start forcing back some of these members here with an ulti from Nibs, doing a good chunk of damage. Looks like not much other blood is going to be looked around here as members of Northwest Bears are going to back that one up. I mean, it was a good start from... I think that there was going to be max range hook with the ulti on to here to Pwn. We're forcing that ulti to come back around as well. And I mean, it was solid positioning. They were able to dodge the Orin Horn, which had left to probably a full team die there. But, you know, it solid positioning from RSAs. They still have an understanding about what's going on here. And that goal difference still is sitting at 1k difference, despite kills, you know, starting to even out here as well as Drake's as well. Gold is still pretty close. It's actually dropping quite a bit as well. I think we're, yeah, only about 400 gold left, but I don't know who really has the solid potential to move forward so far. As we're looking at golds across the board, mid lane is sitting pretty close to even as you can get. Looks like bot lane has caught up 4 nibs as well, especially in gold 2. So far, the only still major gold differences are going to be that jungle with max range hook still being 4, 1, and 4. And with a huge chunk of farm, over 40 farm over top of Saxophone Guy there as well. It's going to lead to a lot of problems there. And top lane as well for Fishfood Man, who still was stacking up pretty high in the gold counter versus Nick Trick. I don't think anyone has this solidly right now. As Baron's up, they're going to start looking for it. And I don't know what we're going to see next yourself. I really don't.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't really think that engage was yet a good idea from Max Range Hook. It was a good moment, but they had experienced just a few moments back that they don't have yet enough damage to eliminate the enemy's ADCs and carries overall as fast as they needed. So I think they were bound to fail that fight because Max Range Hook went in, did all the damage they could, finished the combo, but it still wasn't enough. And that's what an assassin has to be able to do. And if they aren't at that stage anymore, was that an ulti?
That was an ulti. There's no vision whatsoever from the NWB right now from Northwest Bears, as Dragon Pit's currently sitting open with only 10 seconds left. And so Saxophone just burned a really powerful ulti there. I mean, they got a tower return, so there's a lot of pressure in mid lane with TP coming in right now. But yeah, no vision whatsoever for Northwest Bears as Drake pressure's gonna start coming around. Fishing Man's coming up from the bottom, forcing these members of RSA. They're the position they were from last time, minus an ulti. I mean, they're forcing themselves to a quarter. Lasmodian taking a huge chunk of damage, has to back out of there. Just the man gonna drop an ulti to go ahead and execute that one. And that's gonna leave a huge other charge coming out. Fishfood Man's gonna knock up multiple members there. He's gonna has to be back out of that one. A lot of damage coming out. Saxophone Guy doing a good chunk of damage was gonna fall flat as well. Flawless Prodigy bring back here. Jungler straight back to life here as they're just slowly getting chewed up. Northwest Bears is on the road. Nibs cannot step in this fight, but it's gonna blast over the blast cone anyways. Not able to save their members there, and a sit I think is gonna fall flat here. Nick Trick charging in head first. Way too beefy for Nibs here. As that one flower is gonna force back the other members from going fairly far in. I think it's gonna be a little bit of Benny Hills are gonna take that Drake and be on salt points, but that was a really messy fight from Northwest Bears.
Yeah, it comes to the point where the real mistake was the Volibear ulti being wasted 5 minutes. All the Drake's burn. It might have been a mistake. It might have been miscommunication. Maybe there was a ping there and they thought that somebody was hiding in the bush. But that, as you said, Volibear's ulti, Saxophone Guy, is crucial in those team fights with doing damage and also tanking. So to not have that ulti was very bad for Northwest Bearcats. And it's interesting to see how even though they were out of such a powerful ulti for that team fight, they still almost turned that around. Replay Stallions were like a little close. You know, it was very clutch. It was very it wasn't like a super comfortable fight for them. They won. They did guarantee the Drake, which is awesome for them. As I've been saying, Northwest Bearcats are still very tanky. And they don't have the power to explode their carries fast enough. So as you saw, like the more the fight continues, the more Northwest Bearcats has more potential and opportunities to try and come back. While as after you have Bronze ulti used, Malphite's ulti used, Diana's ulti used, you don't have much there. So they have to be able to do that in a very quick moment in the fight, because the longer it lasts, the more in favor it goes to for Northwest Bearcats. Well, what are you thinking, Cosmo?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a point in time there where I thought Northwest was going to turn around, namely in the fact that Jin was able to find a perfect like ulti spot there as well, and there was a lot of pressure happening there overall. But I think just the picks that replay Stallions have been getting so far with an ulti drop there as well that didn't catch anyone, they've just been getting so many lucky picks, and I really think Northwest Bearcats here is playing scared. I mean, they're the team that's ahead right now. They're 4-1 currently in their bracket up against a 3-3 team. They're feeling a bit scared overall. At least I think they are. I mean, there's been a lot of like quick button presses to try to force something crazy happening here, but I feel like Replay Stallions is really getting in their head right now. There's a lot of pressure. I mean, there's that Malphite ulti that's just always a threat, just looming over their heads, and that Diana ulti as well, being able to just dive directly headfirst in there. And the fact that Flawless Prodigy has the ability to just hide indefinitely as long as he's next to a wall is pretty terrifying too. I mean, we have Drake up in 2 minutes. Baron's already sitting up as well, so we could see another crazy team fight happen. But I think if Northwest Bearcats want to come back, I mean, they're not that far behind, just about 2K. If they want to like come back and try to win this one, they need to steel themselves up. They can't keep getting scared like this and dropping the ball so many times. And I mean, if this happens around Baron, I don't think there's much of a pushback that Northwest can really bring to the table here.
Yeah, great. I fear they don't really see the potential that team fights have right now. Maybe they don't have as much pickoff potential as Replay Stallions have. Their team fight is impeccable. Like, that comp is so strong in a 5v5. And they have seen how Replay Stallions gets a little more shaky the longer a fight goes. Or I think they have to try to engage, because if they leave it for Nick the Trick and Max Range Hook, it's gonna be, as you said, it's something that's too dangerous for them. And if you leave the opportunity of engaging to the enemy team, you're not gonna be an advantage. Even though they have been able to handle it pretty well thus far, they have to engage, and that's not what's happening now.
Yeah, Flawless Prodigy doing some massive combo damage to Lasmodian as the ulti's gonna come out of left field there from Chest the Man, taking Lasmodian out of that one. 20 seconds now actually up for Drake, and that's gonna lead to Soul for them. And with multiple members gone, spread out across the map here, and one of the heavy supports gone, I think they just kind of have to concede Soul. Meanwhile, they're adding some pressure there to the top side. Top tower, second top tower is down, as well as these two top tier Juggernauts are going to start fighting off as well. Loaded pokes left and right as Fisherman's going to back out of this one. To be uncontested there, Saxify was on the move. Ocean Soul in the back pocket of the RSA now. I mean, that's not looking good, especially for these team fights here. There's just been so much healing now to counteract that tankiness that we see from Northwest. Like, they have these super strong frontline members and a lot of good combo potential. But now with Ocean Soul, it's kind of the same over on Replay Stallion's side. And overall, just tactically, I've seen them playing a lot better from Northwest Bearcats, where you can land those combos all you want. The picks do not lie, and that's been leading to a lot of solid potential as members are starting to look around at this Baron now. Nick the Trick might be looking for an ulti steal as well. Saxon guy staying around the corner just in case something funky happens. And full control over the river right now over to Northwest Bearcats. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a take here soon.
Yeah, and that soul was literally what replay Stallions needed. Because if they were lacking a little bit of survivability, well, there it is. they just got it. If they were lacking a little bit of survivability to be able to put up with those longer fights, then there's no problem anymore. And they have been playing as I feel is the best way for them to play right now, which is really go for those engages, as it's honestly what Northwest was also supposed to be doing, and they found the action in a soft spot now, and that might be a kill going for another deck.
Yeah, Flawless Prodigy. Ooh, has the flash to dodge that one there. Is diving straight under tower. Saxon guy is going to disable that real quick. He's a solid damage. A lot of shielding still around for Flawless Prodigy. Charge is going to land there. Lot burned, but they got a kill overall. Meanwhile, topside, Nick the Trick holding out alone in a 2v1 there, doing a ton of damage to Nibs overall. Has to play some fancy footwork here, dodging the ulti over. Is going to take it out by 4th shot. Meanwhile, Baron is going to get taken by RSA. No one sing on them at all. The entirety of Northwest Bearcats forced around. Meanwhile, Heal is going to come out there overall. The trade for trade shutdown there as we're going over to Chest the man who's still alive. Tower's going to go down there, and unfortunately, Orin, you're left out alone hanging up the dry. Domination coming out from Chest the man. And that was a... I said it before, tactically, replay Stallions have just coming out on top, and that was just such a lack in foresight there from Northwest. Like, we'll have all these 3 members go force down Flawless, who's pushing up there, and meanwhile, your other 2 members are targeting Nick the Trick up there as well. It's just like, where's the rest of the team? We haven't had any vision in this game since like minute 5. Because all of their vision has been taken off the board. We've had multiple shots showing it here and there, but they have no idea where the rest of the team is. They take Baron, take a few kills, force down top lane, and now there's a lot of pressure on Northwest Bearcats, and they don't start thinking faster. They're gonna get their base crushed in before they know it.
Yeah, and to be fair, it was such a well-played plan there by replay Stallions, because they had the bait on the action bottom lane so that the 3 members would go there. Were there 3 or 2? Yeah, there were 3 members, 3. Yeah. And then you also had a mouth fight going on 2 people top lane. Well, we have a fight going on now.
Yeah, ulti getting dropped on a solo member there. Kennan's going to do some damage, but it's not enough for Nick the Trick, who's going to take that one overall. Ulti getting dropped on them from Volvar, who's also going to get shut down in max range hook. Nothing that Northwest Bearcats can do to slow them down. Double kill over to Malphite there. Flawless Prodigy pick up one more. It's just Nibs who is forced to run away in fear of the ADC left alive, dropping an ulti to try to do anything to stop this push. But, I mean, Boo's standing out in front, blocking everything, and I was saying you have to think fast. I guess 1 minute or it's just not fast enough for you there. And the towers are going to go down, and I'm pretty sure this is going to lead out to replay Stallions winning this round 1. If Nibs can do anything at all, nope, he's going to fall to the wayside. Round 1, it goes to the replay Stallions Academy.
It was a very good game, Cosmic.
Oh yeah.
If we talk about how replay Stallions play this game, it was very consistent. They knew how to position. They knew how to prioritize their objectives. As I said in the beginning, they considered it wasn't that much of a threat to leave the Herald for the enemy team, so they decided to guarantee those Drakes. They just missed one and got to their soul really quick. They have very nice rotations overall throughout the whole game, from early to middle to late game. And that final fight where they did the bait on bottom lane, they had Malphite fighting 2 people top lane, and they were wasting their ultimates, and probably really happy to see that they were getting kills. And then, wait, no, you just lost your Baron buff.
No, it was a really good time. I mean, Northwest definitely had some of their moments there overall, where they were definitely finding a lot of solid push, and we did started Northwest slowly starting to turn this thing around to their side, especially in the mid game there. But again, it was a lot of quick tactical thinking from replay Stallions, and it was a lot of a lot of pressure on Northwest there to hold that one up, and they couldn't. But I definitely think we could see them try to turn it around in game two here. We're going to take a quick little break here for just a few moments, and we set up game two, but we'll replay Stallions, bring this one to a quick old 2-0, and bring this dichotomy here to a bit of an even stance, or will Northwest show why they're up higher here on the tier list than replay Stallions, bring us to game three and correct their mistakes in game one and bring us to a game of 2-1. We'll see you guys in just a couple moments here. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to GG Leagues, where we're back with the exciting matchup between Replay Stallions Academy and Northwest Bearcats League Team Green. In match one, Replay Stallions were able to slowly but surely take over Northwest Bearcats there to take round one. But as we're diving into match two, it's kind of up in the air. It's pretty even overall between the two teams, so I'm very interested to see what happens here. So, what were your thoughts going after match one there? What were you thinking about?
I have to say, if Replay Stallions keep up that same kind of coordination and communication, they are gonna do well. And on the side of Bearcats, they need to do the same. They need to come back with that better understanding on the draft and the comp, the matchup, so they can know how to prioritize their objectives and what are going to be the objectives they're going to prioritize. And first off, we see Zeri getting banned from Bearcats, and in my opinion, it might be a mistake to let Jinx open again, unless they're gonna want to play that. So I'm interested to see what they're going for. The same bans. Let's have a look if Replay Stallions are gonna change things up a little bit. But yeah, overall, I don't know.
Yeah, I have
if
no idea
there's-
either.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's anything in particular, like very specific, that neither of these teams have to do. They just, on the side of Replay Stallions, they have to keep up what they were already doing, and if things get a little more tough because Bearcats is stepping up their game, I want to see them going even further, because Bearcats knows how to make a good comp, but they got lost a little bit into that game. As you said, they looked a little scared, maybe a little too hesitant in when to engage and what to do, even though in our perspective they had the better opportunities and the better champions required to sustain a good fight, they got a little lost in the middle of all of that. What are you
Yeah.
thinking?
I'm very confused about what we're seeing right now throughout picks right now. Because we're looking at bans overall. Zarya, Philius, Echo, same bans as match 1 as well. Hover of Jinx, now Hover of Xayah. Northwest Bearcats going to take over Diana there first. Worked really well for Replay Stallions, so they might want to see some of that comeback. But then Xin Zhao comes out overall. Pretty good matchup in Diana alone, and Xin Zhao has just been dominant so far. Kennan's being hovered by Northwest Bearcats as well. Worked pretty well here and there, despite getting chunked out. Was still useful when it came to the ulti overall. And for some power in the mid lane. Jinx will also be taken by Northwest Bearcats. Was not their first pick. I want to put strong emphasis on that as well. Replay Stallions basically handed it to them and went for Xayah instead. The Xayah overall, I think, is a pretty solid ADC nonetheless. Has been coming back in strong force. A lot of people have been hyping up over her right now because, like, lethality is good. She's good with the lethality. Here she is, and I can guarantee that she just shreds with lethality on Xayah as well. But Jinx is a good all-rounder, and that's one of the reasons why she's top of the board. So I think it'll lead some very interesting back and forth in the bot lane. Replay Stallions don't have that early game down there anymore as well. So until Xayah can get some solid lethality under her belt, which could just lead to just one mythic overall, it's gonna be rough for them in bot lane, I think. We do have Leona rounding that one out as well, taking away from Bearcats, putting it on their shoulders this time. They want that aggressiveness as their comp is just looking so angry right now. Riven Akshan getting banned out, so no more Akshan in the mid lane. Poppy Hover in the top lane, very interesting overall. Nautilus Thresh also getting taken away by Replay Stallion, so no strong supports for Jinx. They might have to bring out the Braum like last time, but there's no Jhin, so there's no real point for you to pull out the Braum. Poppy in the top lane will come out, and that one confuses me greatly.
I would be very happy to see Tom Kench on that bottom lane with the Jinx. Be such a great pick.
I'm having trouble processing right now, so I'll be honest. Well, there's your Tom Kench. There's your Tom Kench overall.
Nice.
Where they're bringing Volibear into Poppy. Never mind, it's a Braum hover. But they're bringing Volibear into Poppy, which I don't think will turn out too well for Volibear. For any dashes overall, so I think that might turn out a bit rough. Braum is gonna get picked out there with Fizz hover in the mid lane. I see the Braum pick, and I shake my head rapidly. There's no strong point for the Braum pick. As far as Xin Zhao goes, he still gets the target that he wants on your head. He just doesn't do the damage. Voila, Xin Zhao's into your team. Xayah still has ult. He can pull feathers behind you. Yeah, unless you drop shield behind you and completely blow your cover to the front, doesn't matter. Leona can still get on you. Poppy can still get on you. Will kind of block the Poppy ulti. You're still going to go flying halfway across the map, but damage will be reduced. And then Malzahar, it does nothing. I got really close to my mic to remind everyone, the Braum pick's kind of worthless overall.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my in-depth. I think Replay Stallions have a weird comp, but I think it will work well overall because of how aggressive and angry they're playing this game. What are your thoughts, Soph? I know I talked for a little bit there.
Yeah, no worries. We love you hearing your insights. But yeah, in regards to the Braum, I would have preferred seeing that Tom Kench. Such a big pick nowadays, has the incredible potential of saving anyone in a team. And in this case, well, Braum is gonna give you a little bit of resistance. It's gonna give you a little less damage with that shield. But most importantly, I think for Northwest Bearcats, my apologies, it's gonna be more of a CC utility pick. It's not gonna be more of that defense tanky, even though Braum can be that. I think in this case is gonna be more of an engaging pick with the stuns, with the knockups. But yeah, I'm a little worried because replay Stallions comp are looking nice. Looking nice.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see this bot lane with Chesterman and Burr being very aggressive on the Jinx. And I don't know. I want to see good things for both of these teams, but I'm not completely sure that I like Northwest comp.
Yeah, I mean, I if we were just looking at it, it's comp. It's solid. They have, you know, a decent enough front line coming out there with Volibear. And you have a good chunk of damage as well coming up for the rest of the members. I think it's a fine enough comp for what you're trying to go for nonetheless. But up against what Replay Stallions has, I don't think it's really in your favor. I mean, you know, bot lane, it'll be a bit rough here for just the man and Boo so far, especially earlier on. Especially because you just don't have a ton of damage as Zaya early on so far. You have enough to get the job done, but I think you're still waiting to items that, especially up against Jinx, it's going to be rough. But later on, it'll work out in their favor. I've never seen a Kennen Malzahar matchup, so Lord knows what happens there. But as far as ideals go, I mean, decent range on both members there. I don't think Flawless Prodigy will ever have a spell shield to their name for the rest of the laning phase so far. So I think that works out well. In top lane, I think Poppy can hold pretty strong on that. I think, you know, getting up into level 3 here doesn't, you know, have, you know, the strong tankiness so far to dive up there. But as far as charge-ins go, has the wall to block off any stall or picks there overall. And I think can really start working around this Volibear later on with some help from Max Range Hook, because I do think that Poppy's a utility pick, especially forcing out some of those stronger members there, namely looking at Saxophone guy who's diving right in on Max Range Hook and is finding the bad end of a spear right now. A lot of damage knockup happening there. It's forced to flash there, and it's forced to smite as well. Here to Pwn, do a little bit of damage, but it's just gonna walk away. And yeah, I'm a bit nervous about Max Range Hook's damage. It hurts a lot against Saxophone guy, because I think overall, pretty sure Xin Zhao holds the candle over top of Diana. Could be wrong. I'm not a jungle main, even though I did play one competitively. I'm a support. I do what I can from down in the bot lane.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
yeah.
We are the bot lane mains. Well, I'd like to point out how Chesterman, well, speaking of,
Violent Flash is there. Asmodian's gonna get out there with a little flick of help, but Force Flash is gonna drop a Q on there. Ooh, meanwhile, topside, Nick the Trick, ooh, a little too far forward. Flash getting burned by Fish Food Man to go ahead and dive straight into there to get that kill. I don't think the Flash was necessary, but c'est la vie, you got the kill anyways, good for you. You know that's a-
c'est la vie.
Yeah, it's a pretty big cooldown to burn though. Overall, it's gonna be gone for a little while, but you know, first blood in the pocket for your top laner. That's gonna feel solid as that Volibear is just gonna get stronger and stronger. I think Volibear and Jinx there, those are definitely two of your strong points. The rest of them is a lot of CC bots overall, but Fish Food Man's gonna do a ton of damage, and that Jinx is, if allowed to shred the team, will definitely shred a Replay Stallions team here if they can when it comes down to the team fights. But we have to wait one. We're still only a couple minutes in, 5 minutes on the board. Mountain Drake sitting and ready. Hopefully we see a bit of a lull. I'm saying hopefully, so I don't have to lose my voice today, but we might see a bit of a lull here, much like game so far, as I think Reaper gonna take their time and start looking around for some possible picks.
Yes, sir. I think even though Fish Food Man did waste that flash, that might probably not been that necessary. I appreciate the efforts into making sure they were gonna get the kill. So they came in looking with a little more confidence, a little more assertiveness in their plays, and that is translating into this saxophone guy hidden in this bush. Nick the Trick doesn't know that. Oh, now they're back. Wait, did they back?
Yeah, they back. They're backing.
They
Yeah,
just backed. Okay. So just pushing that lane. crashing the wave. But what I was trying to say earlier is that we didn't really tell everybody. If you haven't noticed, Chesterman is rocking Airy now with that Zaya. And that's very interesting because, as you said, if they allow the Jinx to grow, it's gonna be very hard to try and counter that, especially with Litho Temple, which is the most popular rune for her. With Zaya having Airy instead of Litho Temple or any of the precision runes, it's gonna be a different kind of playstyle, and I think it would be more drawn towards early to middle game, and we have a counter gank happening right now.
Yeah, a lot of pressure there. We have Malzahar coming down from the mid lane. A lot of pinks coming around. Meanwhile, Saxo guy is sitting in the bush there, looking for something. Eyeing up Boo right now. Let's get it back up as another member's there. Looks gonna land. Chomper's not gonna happen there. Ulti from Malzahar's gonna get dropped right on top of Braum as Lesmodian's gonna go down. Just the man's gonna pick up a good ult kill there. And the less 4 members are gonna back up. Max range hook. Looking a little bit angry here, trying to force his numbers. Meanwhile, Boo is diving headfirst into the matchup here, leaving their other members to try. Not so much. Ulti getting dropped down, 2 members stunned, and 2 members dead over on the side of RSA. Good trade back. A lot of damage sitting on top of Nibs, but unfortunately the Airy not going to take that one overall. A 2-for-1 trade going to the back pockets of Northwest Bearcats. My main standpoint on that one is, Boo, I know your name is scary, but you're not that scary, as execution's going to happen on Jinx. Thank you. Thank you for zooming in on that one, because, ruh-roh. That sucks there. But yeah, but overall, Boo, what were you doing? Why did you go back in? You knew another member was coming. Why were you trying to turn that one around? And it looks like they're going to try to turn that one around again. Just the man running around the corner. Boo diving headfirst in that leg.
Oh, the ulti.
A lot of damage overall. Holes coming left and right, as well as Lesmodian. And it looks like Saxo and Guy will both go down to a double kill for the mid lane of Flawless Prodigy. Meanwhile, topside, good chunk of damage there, landing on Fish Food Man. The Takiness is trying to come out for Nick the Trick, but unfortunately, not for the passive, was able to land on for Fish Food Man as well. Good chunks of damage left and right. A lot of pressure coming out here from this Volibear. He's going to be trying to drop the ulti. Ulti's going to get dropped there by Nick the Trick, who's trying for something, not able to find it as the tower was skilled down. A good attempt, but Fish Food Man's going to pick up a kill at the end. And Gold Favor still sits barely in the pocket of Northwest.
Yeah, I'm really seeing much more coordination from Northwest this game. They've been able to try and capitalize on other lanes when things aren't going that well on the other side of the map. So it's looking a little more promising, a little more even in score as well. Just a little goal difference, though. Pretty even so far. And I've really liked seeing Replay Stallions going in for that fight after the Drake. They knew they had already lost the Drake, but they were gonna take down people because of that. So they were gonna punish them because of Bruce's mistakes. Because Northwest Bearcats just got that Drake because they won the fight on bot lane. As Boo did go too aggressive there, overextending and making them lose 2 players in that fight. So that granted them the trade, but Replay Stallion said, well, that's not gonna be it. And Boo said, boo, again, and scared them out of the way and did kill them, even though they couldn't get the buff on that fight.
Yeah, Saxorai looking once again towards the bot lane. Trying to go for some action there. He's not going to find. Instead, it's going to be looking in the jungle there of Max Range Hook, taking away some of the extra power they have there and trying to get some vision in there as well. I mean, they have the ability to. They're pretty decently ahead on farm right now. They're going to return back to their own lane. That's going to be taking more vision there. Meanwhile, Max Range Hook looking around top side here, diving straight in on top of Volibear, who's taking a ton of damage right now. Flash will not save you here. Shutdown Gold going in the back pocket of Max Range Hook. Good dive overall. I mean, nothing for me to backhand comment about anyone there. I just think Fish Food Man was unfortunately caught out there, and it was a good follow-up there by Max Range Hook to go ahead and take it.
Yeah, Max Range Hook has been doing a great job in rotating and being present all around the map, and that's really nice to see. I think that's mainly what's been keeping Replay Stallions so cohesive in their playstyle and canceling the recall on Saxophone Guy.
Ooh.
Big engager here to Pwn.
Yeah.
But they managed to escape. That's safe for now.
Yeah, no, they're safe for now. Meanwhile, bot lane's not so safe right now either. Blue's diving headfirst on top of Nibs. Flash is coming out there trying for something. They'll settle for the support, but they won't. The flash is enough for Lasmodian to get away. Both bot laners, by the skin of their teeth, are going to get out of there alive. Multiple sums burned for them to keep alive, and two ultis, neither ulti actually getting burned for them to get out there as well. That was pretty good overall. Like, that was pretty scary there, as members are just going to go ahead and back out of that fight overall. But yeah, there was an attempted fight there in the mid lane there. Somehow, I didn't see how, here to Pwn was able to get out of the ulti from Flawless Prodigy, who got stunned up there with a nice backwards Q there. And then bot lane, good attempts from the side of Replay Stallions, but they just weren't able to get it. And they couldn't shut down the Braum fast enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, and they were just by that 10 health. And unfortunately, that wasn't what Replay Stallions was hoping for. But they're going to go for another engage.
Ooh. Bit of pressure. Ulti's gonna get dropped down there. Multiple shots missed. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, quick old solo shutdown for here to Pwn, who's gonna get pwned themselves by Maxer and Chuck coming around to clean that one up. Meanwhile, bot side here, a lot more damage coming on. No roots will land there. Ulti is gonna go wide as well as Asmodian is on the run. Pretty low. Flash will catch them off guard, and Chess the Man's able to finish that one off. Good stopwatch timing from Boo. Even pull that one off and tried to get the kill. A little bit of 10 health there remaining once again. But I mean, a lot of good timing there from Boo, able to spin that one around, and I mean, just barely dodging the zap coming out from Jinxer last second, trying to take out a death there. They're gonna get Drake overall, but Replay Stallions showing they're not out of this fight yet. Still up ahead. Whoa! Oh no!
You're not coming here, buddy. Oh, Diana, you're not coming here.
Dives head first and on instinct, press the R key, just like, I've got them in the bag. But it's Poppy. And they just, that sucks. That hurts to see.
It was so, it really does. Especially since the shield block was already up when they went in. I think that's the thing with assassin players. They just know exactly what to do and they just and smash everything so quickly. But Nick the Trick is gonna skip again. I mean,
Nick the Trick,
they are that confident.
This is the best Poppy I've ever seen from anyone. I'll be 100% honest on that one there. Just hasn't been taking, like, has died a few times to some catch outs here and there for attempts on getting kills. But overall, even though they're down, they've been playing it like a champ. Most people are like, I'm going to try to catch ahead. I'm going to get some kills here and there. But, like, has just been playing behind tower like a champ, has been able to get away when they can. They're not playing for aggression. They're playing for staying away. 4 members in the bot lane here, forcing down this bot lane tower because they have the pressure. And I don't think we'll see much conflict as we do have 2 members looking around here. Flawless Prodigy will get found out by the ward placement there. Members are going to back off there. Drake is nowhere up, so no need to pressures. Everyone's going to go back to what they were doing.
Just casually back to farming. But, yeah.
Walk off screen.
I have to, just leaves. I chop my head out. So, yeah, it's been really nice to see how Nick the Trick has been playing this top lane so nice and secure that they can escape. They can push a little bit towards the mid half of that top lane, but they can come back. They can get nice and safe on the turret. They're just 10 farm behind, even though that Volibear is applying so much pressure in this lane. And along with max range hook, it's been really essential for replay Stallions to keep very nice cohesive game.
Ooh. No, bot lane, bit of an engage there. Ulti coming out there right on top of Boo, who has no chance of survival. 3 will take that one. Two ultis burned from bot lane, and Rift is also going to get dropped. Meanwhile, mid lane, here opponent is going to go ahead and take care of Flawless Prodigy real quick, even from under tower. Meanwhile, Max and Jugs once again going to come up for the cleanup. Feels like that's happening a lot mid lane. Meanwhile, bot lane's not going to fall for that one. Fortunately, not enough damage from Zaya to take down that Rift in time. Meanwhile, Max and Jug taking a lot of damage there from Saxophone Guy. Very back in.
Oh, bumping the mastery!
Shutdowns coming out left and right here across the board. Meanwhile, bot side, Jinx was taken out by Zaya, as Zaya was taken down by Braum, of all people. And two TPs coming in there from the top laners to just go ahead and quickly rotate bot. The support's running around the corner. Lasmodius looking a bit low here, diving from Nick the Trick, looking for some sort of damage overall. Now looking in the bush, here comes around the corner. Nick the Trick popping over there and just sent across the map thanks to Poppy ulti. This true man is going to walk away and just like, all right, couldn't help you there, but I'm going to go back to my lane. You have fun. But chaotic fight overall. But in the end, Northwest Bearcats actually coming on top of that one for that jungle kill with no extra return there.
Yeah. It was so satisfying to see Here to Burn get that kill on Flawless Prodigy. But we got more team fights going on.
Oh, no. Play to win button is just going to get pressed there by Malzahar. There's no escape without any extra teammates to help you get out of that one. Malzahar will not get the kill, but will definitely assist that one. Their kills might look to be ahead in Replay Stallion's favor right now, but 700 gold says otherwise. I mean, that gap Northwest has been getting so far, because you've been right, they've been playing so well so far. It's not been working out. Meanwhile, Lasmodius diving a little too fresh forward there. They drop the ulti. He's going to stay out of that one as Nims is able to get a good amount of damage there on top of max range hook. A lot of pressure coming out here from Saxophone Guy, looking for something there. If anything, it's going to be Boo. Flash is coming over the wall. No, actually, ulti is waiting for Saxophone Guy. They could drop it when they feel confident to, but they don't feel like they need to, as Nibs is going to pick up that one and remove Boo from the map. On chase there, Benny Hill music still going as multiple members still diving head first. Max range hook going for something, is able to find it then. Ulti has to get dropped by Here to Pwn. Max range hook's just allowed to walk out of the map right now. Here to Pwn doesn't have enough damage to force him around. Meanwhile, Lasmodius is looking pretty low. Nibs is there as well. Just the Man knows that there's other members there. They have full vision of this backline here. Just the Man's just going to pop around the backside of the shield. You put that up below there from what you're in the backwards talking about earlier. And that gold difference is brought down to just 400. And that Drake ready and waiting, as we are going to get Hextech Soul on this map. Nibs looking for a possible steal. I don't think he's going to get it overall. Breath being held.
Yes. That fight just lasted so long. That was insane. So much running around, so much chasing. And also this 1v1 on top lane, always so intensive.
Yeah.
Fishfoodman just is very dangerous, being able to disable this turret. And oh my god, Nick the Trick is dealing so much damage, and they might be able to take him down. Aren't they? No!
You get the tower return, but you get that kill. Nick the Trick is showing what tricks they have up their sleeve on their Poppy there. That was unbelievable.
Wow. Wow, that made me so tense. Wow. But that was incredible, and it really shows how we're right in highlighting Nick the Trick in this game, along with Max Range Hook. It's been overall such a nice performance from the two of them. Of course, both teams are doing well, and they have their highlights. It's like Fishfoodman is also playing very well, even though the Poppy has been quite tough. The rotations with the TP have been great. From that Volibear Saxophone Guy trying to get those kills and executing people. Jinx with Nick, Nibs sniping those ultis with Jinx. So they're all playing so much better in this game.
Yeah, Boo getting caught out there a little bit. A lot of pressure coming out there from some of the jungle members. TP's coming in across the board as Drake has yet to come up, but it looks like people want some blood. Nick the Trick getting caught off there overall, doing some solid damage. A lot of ultis coming around. Kennan's going to drop an ulti, doing a lot of damage there, and they're able to take up Flawless Prodigy there. Multiple members, Nick the Trick getting a killing spree there as well. As two members are down, and others are being traced as Nick is being forced to run away. doesn't have the ulti yet, is trying to wait it out, doesn't have the time. Shutdown going over the back pocket of Fish Food Man. You know, more chase for here to Pono trying to come up there, but it's a Kennen. You're never going to catch Tiny Kennen. Meanwhile, other members are currently being chased down as well. It's currently a running spree away from Northwest. Plasmodian's able to get out of that one, stay safe and alive. I think that's the end of our fight there. 2 for 2 overall. Goal difference still slightly in favor of Northwest Bearcats, but this tower take will definitely change that dichotomy to even here.
Oh, and we got a TP from Alza on bottom lane. They're probably going to try and take down that bot tower. But with the Hextech gates, their positioning is going to be much easier. And to be able to defend that turret is going to be a piece of cake. We got already Volibear and Jinx there. Mazaha just decided to push, but maybe Fish Foodman is... Okay, just let them be. It's fine, it's fine. We don't need to push for any more fights now. Well, I've got to say that these both teams' performances have been like they stepped up a level from last game. It seems so much more confident, so much more sure of what to do, and going in with like blood in their eyes. And they're both being very aggressive, and at this point I think that's what both of these teams have to do. It's a more fast-paced game, and we have one Drake for Northwest Bearcats and 2 Drakes for Replay Stallions. So it is important that they don't allow Replay Stallions to get that Drake and go to Soul Point. And Buru is
not getting out of that
down.
one. It was a lot of pressure there. Ulti will take that kill overall, but a lot of damage coming out here.
Oh my!
Just the man able to take down a double kill there overall and force back these other members. And I think they're going to be able to get away here. I don't think there's going to be much pressure. But I want to point this out, as we did see there, we had multiple members of Northwest Bearcats waiting around there as Nick the Trick was pushing top. And when I saw that, I thought, like, they're just waiting in these bushes, waiting for someone to step up, but nobody is. So why are you still there? Why are you still waiting around as you're letting your top lane get shoved in overall? It still shows that Northwest Bearcats are still scared of this team. Like, they had the advantage. You had a super strong advantage for such a long time. Why are you still so scared of these members here? And they let that top tower get taken. Bot tower has more pressure on it. And despite trying to get that kill, you burnt so much. You burnt a Volibear ulti, you burnt, I'm pretty sure you burnt Diana ulti there as well, along with flashes to get out of this fight that happened later on. They didn't have any pressure to go ahead and keep up that fight or defend when other members came around. Now we have a chase going on, multiple things are down. Flash is coming out there to force away some other ultis. Meanwhile, Flawless Prodigy not looking behind them. They take a lot of damage overall. As here, Dapone was able to drop down that stopwatch. 1 kill, but a Drake in the back pockets of the RSA. They're on Soul Point now. Nice boost, max range hooker on the run right now. We do have members coming around the top, but they're going to settle for max and back fight. Meanwhile, we do have Nick the Trick still split pushing on their own, being away from these fights. They haven't need to be here yet. Fish Food Man's trying for something or all. Good speed up from Nick the Trick. He's going to get out of that one overall. And I feel like we're harping on Nick a lot here. I feel like we're calling him out because he's been doing such a good job. I want to keep doing it. He's just been left allowed to just push all these towers in and deal so much damage and getting so much pressure for this Baron that it does look like Northwest are starting to start up here. He's been allowing for so much extra potential to happen overall. And meanwhile, multiple members are taking a lot of damage here. TP's coming in across the board. You're forced back there because you didn't feel confident enough. You're too scared. You're going to commit to something, fully commit. I understand you like, okay, we need to back out this now, but now your health bars are super low for multiple of these full health members to try to take you down. And you don't have enough power to defend these other tower takes as well. And that's going to feel pretty rough for your shoulders. So Northwest Bearcats, despite having that lead from ahead, we're still feeling a bit too cautious. And I mean, they've been playing so well this match. I don't want to be mean to them. They've been doing amazing so far. They've been adding a lot of pressure, outthinking Replay Stallions multiple times, and having that lead and playing so forward and strong, but they're still cautious. I still feels like they're overly cautious on a lot what they're playing for here. We do have an ulti dropped from Jinx in the top side, so no more Super Death Rocket there. But with Baron up, Soul Drake left on the doorstep for replay Stallions with 3 minutes left to go. And that one here, we'll have to wait on a bit of a fight, lest Northwest Bearcats find something fancy here.
Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty hard because, as we pointed out, replay Stallions have been able to coordinate more and don't seem to be that cautious or extra careful when engaging, and they fully commit to the play. And they can leave Chesterman just behind, dealing so much damage. As we do have a award from Northwest Bearcats.
Yeah,
So we
one
do
last
have
award.
another. Yes, we do have another from RSA in the pit. They're most likely going to be trying to rotate all this next trade. No, we're relying on, well, interesting, because Flawless Prodigy doesn't have a TP, and they're all conglomerating towards Baron, as they know the mid laner from RSA is not in the fight.
Yeah, I think they're looking for a lot of pressure here. I mean, I think it's less for the fact that Flawless Prodigy isn't here. I mean, that tower was going to go down eventually, so it's nice to see it finally go away. As RSA have now taken tower lead as well. I think there's still a lot of eyes, a lot of backup pressure here for this Baron, but as that timer goes down, it's still in Replay Stallion's favor. Like, it doesn't matter if they get Baron, they'll get Soul, and they'll get their own free static shiv on everyone. And it gives them so much extra damage for these team fights that have been going reasonably well for Northwest Bearcats with a lot of solid pick power in forcing out these other members. But with that set shift, I don't think they'll be feeling too good, especially Chesterman now still feeling stronger. And it's currently sitting on the board, 7-1, 600 count bounty gold sitting on their head right there. So I'm very interested to see what we have going on here. So what are your thoughts? Do you think Northwest Bearcats still has the potential here to push back for a win?
I think if they do, it's gonna be throughout maybe 2 or 3 team fights that they have to win, because they have to be able to win, then stabilize, and then outgrow them in those tiny windows of opportunity. But to like that one.
Solid ulti there, draining on 2 of the back row. It's just a man able to drop the ulti to stay out of that one. And Max Took barely surviving there. Shutdown gold going on to the top of Chesterman. A lot of pressure there. Fisherman's taking out the jungler as multiple members are diving in here. Kills going left to right, double kill standing on the board. 1 member left, and it's not going to be for long. The Quadra is denied, but it will still land out there with the Ari damage coming out overall. Oh man, Ace, 2 members still alive. It's enough for a Drake pick. And that's Soul in your back pocket, but that was intense.
It was, to be fair, it was all on Chesterman's position. I've got to say, that Zaya has been playing so well and knowing when to back down and have all the space to know when to go in. Oh, that was really incredible. Super nice to see an ADC positioning so well as they were in that fight. Because for a lot of that fight, it felt like Northwest Bearcats were in the lead. They were dealing so much damage, and Max Range Hook just evaporated, I think, along with Brew so quickly. So it was very, very interesting to see that they could turn out that fight. And to be fair, I think it was all on Chesterman's positioning.
Yeah, positioning there. Saxophone guy has to back out of that one, pushing a little bit too forward. No sums burned so good on your back there. It has no flash, so gonna be a bit rough overall. But Baron is up, and they have the Drake Soul, and their members of Replay Stallions are not too afraid here of the other members, so they're slowly wrapping around. Howdapone is currently sitting in the back line now, kind of waiting around. There's eyes on him, but you have to remember that there is that ulti, and it looks like they're trying to look for him as well. Oliver ulti's going to go wide there overall, as the members of RSA are going to be forced back here. Solid stun on top of Oliver there. Here to Howdapone's looking for an ulti pressure along with Diana. They're not finding it yet. Nick the Trick is too much of a strong wall there. It is diving head first into that Jinx. A lot of damage lost on the ulti come out. Combos landing there as well. Double kill from Chesterman's pullback. And that's a full team ace. Look at that damage. That is the power of the lethality Xayah at work. That is why she's been so strong recently, especially with the lethality coming back and being top of the tier. And I mean, I think they're just going to take this one all the way home.
Yeah, this might be game. This might be game. Wow. All that damage they were already dealing, plus the Hextech Souls. Yeah, it was too much. As I said, it could have been a possibility for Northwest Bearcats if they had time to win over a course of 2 or 3 fights. RSA just didn't give them that chance.
Yeah, there wasn't enough time left on the clock there for Northwest Bearcats. I mean, Replay Stallions were chomping at the bit to dive headfirst in there, and they were able to land some solid damage along, like you said before, with that positioning from Chesterman on that Xayah. We were just left to do insane amounts of damage over and over and over to that entire team fight. And I mean, 2 team fights left, they weren't able to get that backline despite trying super hard. You saw so many times they thought they could catch Xayah out there, some of the members out there left on their own, but they just couldn't get in, especially because they had that front line from Poppy as well. He was playing super well in that entire game, able to get off solid picks. And heck, they were able to dive in that last fight there. A ton of damage was dealt onto Nibs on that Jinx. And you see Poppy just like, I'm going to press the Leroy Jenkins button to remember 2008 and dove directly into the fight, immediately took out Nibs, had no regard for how they were going to get out of that fight. And like, all right, let my team do their work. I've done my job. And just disappeared there. But I mean, that was honestly an amazing fight from both these teams. And I think that's a great one for us to leave out on, as 2-0 is going to land in the back pockets of Replay Stallions. 4-3 will be their tagline there on the board. Love to say a wonderful GG to both of our teams there. You both played amazingly, and you left some really fun commentary from me and Self here as well. But with that, we're going to be turning in for the night as well. You guys stay safe out there, stay warm. If you want to see more from us, or you want to see what's happening tomorrow, I think we have some pretty fun Overwatch matches there for you as well. Make sure you go to our social medias in the tabs below if you're watching us here on Twitch. We have our wonderful Twitter there as well, where we leave polls for you guys to vote for who you want to see next, as we do have finals starting to come up here very, very shortly. And thank you to all of our sponsors.
It's been a great pleasure. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no,
it's been a great pleasure.
It's been a great pleasure. Yeah.
Casting with you, working with Rose, being here with you, the players, and the audience. So we appreciate that you were here with us, and I hope that you enjoyed it, that you have a great time, a great evening, some great matches, as you said, coming up tomorrow. So stay tuned for those. And as for us, we'll see you next week.
Have a safe night, guys.
You